For the single leg RDL, he thought that was funny. For the single leg RDL, I tend to have my opposite leg on the ground and weight in this hand. So I do this and I come down just like that. The reason I don't hold it in the same hand is because, number one, I sort of think about it like if you're walking, right? So when you're walking, you don't walk like this. It's not same arm, same leg. You go opposite arm, opposite leg. That's how our body works. When you sprint, you do this. When you walk, you do this. This is how your body stays in balance and moves efficiently.
As long as I don't like go in like, my goal in this is to not be scared of getting hit. That's it. Because like that's what all amateur fighters do. It's like you like, and like they can't throw a full punch because they don't want to get hit. Just like, if you can calm down, just get in the pocket. I actually want to go in and just like let him hit me first, just so the first one's out. Because if you're like the first ones, I think probably the scariest ones. So you're just like, fucking, all right, just hit me, cool, and then bah, then you go in, right? Because it's that first hit that like you're scared of. I'm not gonna be like, hey,
hit me.
Like, you know, like
yeah.
I'll go in. I'll like grab, but like let him throw something that lands. What's that quote? That war quote, famous war quote. He's like, no strategy survives contact with the enemy. It's like you could have the best plan ever, but as soon as you fucking meet them on the battlefield, that strategy is going to shit. Main thing I need to work on is my conditioning. It's one of those things where it's like coming from the world of powerlifting, where it's just like everything's just get as strong as you can, strong as you can, strong as you can. It's easy to neglect cardio. It's easy to neglect lower intensity, longer duration stuff. I have a lot to get better at, but I'm glad we said it before we went in. My main goal was like, don't be scared of getting hit. And I just look at that was a win for me. I think within the first 20-30 seconds I got hit with a right, and I was like, ooh, okay. And then I got hit with another one, and I think I got hit 3 in a row. And then from there it was like, okay, I'm glad that I was calm enough to be able to like sit in there and feel comfortable getting hit, because that allowed me to think more about strategy and less about avoiding getting hurt. And it's a good metaphor for life in general. Like if you're always playing defense, you're always like worried about getting hit, always taking a loss, you're never gonna move forward. And I think, yeah, a lot to improve on, but glad that I was comfortable enough to get hit in the face, so that then I could get knocked in my teeth, get knocked in my nose, and then like, okay, cool, now I'm gonna hit you back. And then one step every day. And it's cool to have this first fight video. Watch this in 2 years, 5 years, see how it looks. Because right now I'm just all wide, like really bad, but it'll be good to see what happens. Peace.
What's going on? It's been a pretty crazy day. I was up all night doing programming for one-on-one clients and some inner circle programming as well. Then had boxing, which I'm really stoked about it. I think my main goal going into boxing was just don't be afraid of getting hit, and I got hit in the face like right off the bat, and I'm proud of myself, because once I got hit, I was like, cool, let's keep going. And I saw a lot of weaknesses. I was opening up, whatever, long story, good day so far. Then just posted on Instagram, and now what I want to do is go through the last video I posted, which, by the way, huge thank you. It was the walkthrough video of when I was in LA and I walked Daniel and Mizzy through the gym, and we did the deadlift workout. I got a lot of great response to it, some really amazing questions. So I want to go through and answer some of the most common questions I got in regard to that video, which, by the way, what we're going to do is Anthony and I are going to go through the comment section in any video, including this one. So any YouTube video, you have a question, you post your comment, you post your question in the comment section, and in a subsequent video, we'll answer it. We'll put your tag right here, and then we'll notify you when we answer it in a video. So any questions you have, let us know. Just post them in the comment section of the most recent video, and we'll make a Q&A just like we're going to do right now. So, for example, one of the most common questions that we got in the last video, the deadlift workout video, was in regard to single leg RDLs. So for the single leg RDL, what I do is I tend to hold one dumbbell or a kettlebell or whatever in my opposite hand. So actually, Anthony, I'll show you. Basically, for the single leg RDL, you're here and you go, it's all right. It was mad. People don't, it's New York City. Like, we're fucking filming in the street. Like, God forbid someone just like walks around Anthony or goes right through, whatever. Anyway, for the single leg RDL, Anthony thought that was funny. For the single leg RDL, I tend to have my opposite leg on the ground and weight in this hand. So I do this and I come down just like that. So the reason I don't hold it in the same hand is because, number one, I sort of think about it like if you're walking, right? So when you're walking, you don't walk like this. It's not same arm, same leg. You go opposite arm, opposite leg. That's how our body works. When you sprint, you do this. When you walk, you do this. This is how your body stays in balance and moves efficiently. So I don't want to do that because it doesn't make sense. And when you do the same arm, same leg, you're inherently going to sort of turn outward like this. But if you're here, you're going to stay a little bit more square to the floor, and you're better able to strengthen your core muscles, right? So this way now you're strengthening your core muscles and you're strengthening it in the same way that you walk and run and sprint. So it's the same function of the muscles. So that's why I do the opposite arm, opposite leg. I did get the question also of, well, could you hold the weight in both hands? And yes, absolutely. So I think that if your main goal and in the single leg RDL is to get more core stability, then hold it with one hand, opposite arm, opposite leg. If your main goal with the single leg RDL is to load your hips and glutes and hamstrings with as much weight as possible, hold it in both hands. And point being, they're both great variations. It's not one or the other. One isn't better or worse, and you shouldn't only do one. Maybe like for one training phase, offset loading, so in one hand, and another training phase, try and get stronger and heavier and use more with both hands, right? So it's not better or worse, good or bad, right or wrong. They're both good, and just depends on your goal at any point in time. Another question that I got in regard to, in response to the last video was, actually, let me just read it because I'm gonna butcher it if I try and do it from memory. Here we go. They said, by the way, do you feel after some time you stop progressing? I don't know what to do when that happens. And this is another way of asking, what do you do when you hit a plateau? What do you do if you're not making progress? Da, da, da. And I've made a lot of content on this, several videos, but I hate the word plateau. I hate the idea of like, oh, you've hit a plateau, you're gonna plateau. And it's nitpicking, I shouldn't hate it. The reason I don't like it is because it promotes the idea that you're gonna stop making progress for a certain period of time. And that's not how things work. It's not that you're not making progress. If you're putting in effort, if you're doing what you need to do, you're getting better, you're getting stronger, you're getting more conditioned, you're improving. The difference is, the better you get, the longer the period of time it takes before you will see the actual benefits of your progress. You will actually see the visibility of it, see that you will be able to see your ability to display it, whether it's visibly or in terms of strength, performance. So for example, I mean, when you're just starting out in strength training, you can literally get stronger every single day. Every time you go to the gym, you'll lift more weight. Eventually, that will stop. You'll get stronger every week. eventually it'll be every month. And then eventually every 2 months. And the point being, it's not that you're hitting a plateau. It just means that the stronger you get, the better you get, the longer it takes to get to the next level. So do I feel like you stop progressing? No, I don't. Do I feel like it gets harder to get better the better you get? Absolutely. And that's why you don't see people at an elite, you don't see everybody at an elite level in certain things. Like, that's why when you go to the gym and you see someone deadlifting 600 pounds, it's like, oh shit. Because if it was easy, if it was consistent, if it was always just like getting better, everyone would do it. Everyone would be a professional athlete, everyone would be an amazing lifter, everyone would be like amazing at everything. It doesn't matter if we're talking about intellectual skills, if we're talking about performance-based skills, or any skill. It's easy in the beginning because you have so much to learn. And the better you get, the harder it gets. The stronger you get, the stronger you get, the harder it gets. The faster you get, the harder it gets. Everything, the better you get, the harder it gets. And the more you can understand that, the more patience you can have in knowing that you can't expect to see progress every day, every week, every month. But as long as you're continuing to put in the effort, in the long term, it will pay off. It's funny because I told Anthony one thing I wanted to talk about in this talk, and I didn't even realize it, but he was like, wow, that's going to translate really well into what you wanted to discuss, which was talking about your weight and specifically how to use the scale to make sure that you're losing weight appropriately and on schedule and on time and efficiently without driving yourself bonkers and insane. Because I think a lot of people make a huge mistake. And I want you to keep in mind what I just said about the stronger you get, the harder it gets, the faster you get, the harder it gets, the better you get, the harder it gets all the time. A lot of people, when they step on the scale, they'll, like, let's say you step on the scale Monday morning. Then you step on the scale Tuesday morning. You tend to compare that Tuesday morning weigh-in to the Monday morning. And then you step on Wednesday, and you compare Wednesday to Tuesday, and then you compare Thursday to Wednesday, and then Friday to whatever. Like, you're comparing the day before. And it's a huge mistake. Because even if you logically know you're not going to lose weight every day, the reason you would get upset if the scale spikes is because you're comparing it to what happened prior. What's better and a much more accurate way to measure your scale progress is month to month. So May 1st to June 1st. That's the numbers that you compare. May 2nd to June 2nd. May 3rd to June 3rd. And then June 1 to July 1. July 1 to August 1. August 1, September 1. Now you have May to June, June to July, July to August, August to September. You have like 4 or 5 months of data that you can see this trend that is going month to month, right? And within those days and weeks in between, you'll see fluctuations and spikes. But getting mad about those fluctuations and spikes, it's pointless. It's a waste of time. It means nothing. Those fluctuations are just, it's water, it's salt, it's your muscles holding on to more glycogen. It's like maybe you didn't take a shit for 3 days and you're holding on to more poop inside. Like, there's so much going on. That's why you need to give yourself enough time between each comparison. And you need to get enough data to really have an accurate view of what's going on. So what I would say is, number one, if you keep finding yourself getting upset and stressed and mad about the scale, feel free to throw it out. You don't need it. That being said, I do think that just not doing it is more of a way of like sort of putting a Band-Aid on an issue that actually needs to be fixed and addressed. If you're getting that upset about the scale, it's not that the scale is the issue, it's that how you're perceiving the scale and the numbers you're getting back is the issue. So rather than just getting rid of it and then maybe freaking out when you go to the doctors again and they make you get on, why not fix it and understand that the way that you view your data is on a month-to-month basis, and you're viewing it as a trend over time, not as an exact definitive number day to day. And the sooner you can understand that, and the sooner you can apply that daily, weekly, monthly to your routine and to your mindset, the more patient you'll get, the happier you'll get, and the better progress you'll make.